idea velocity and help idea move forward fast. One of the ways we looked at earlier was to find a champion. When you have a champion like George Fernandez, idea does move forward fast. What is a way where organization can enable this to happen? Is there something that organization can do? And one of the ways in which organizations do this is by doing an effective innovation review. So let us look at what are the characteristics of an effective innovation review. This is a story of 2002 where Gmail was not launched yet, and Marissa Mayer, who was that time product manager of Gmail team, and Paul Bouquet, who was the team lead, they shared an office, and they were not sure how Gmail is going to make money. So they got to talk to each other, and Paul suggested that why not actually use advertisements. But Marissa says, no, we will go with the Hotmail model, which was the dominant business model at that time, which was like a freemium model where you give some space for free and then charge if the users need additional memory. And why not advertisements? Marissa's argument was that they would actually intrude with the privacy, and people will not, the consumers, the email users will not like their emails to be checked for content, and then content based advertisements to be displayed. This was a conversation which happened, and then people kind of forgot about it. But before Marissa left the office, she just made sure that Paul is not going to implement this ad based stuff, and he said yes. Marissa comes back the next morning and logs into Gmail and finds out that there are ads everywhere. So what had happened was, overnight after Marissa had left, Paul had downloaded some of the open source components through which he had implemented a crude version of content based advertisements. Marissa was upset. As a boss, she had specifically instructed for not doing this, and that is what had been done. So she thought she should call this person and roll back this feature. But then she saw that he had worked through the night. Maybe he should sleep for a couple of hours. In those 2 hours, she gets 2 emails. The first one says from a friend, let's go hiking, and an advertisement pops up for hiking shoes. And the second email says that Al Gore is visiting Stanford, and an advertisement pops up saying these are the books, Al Gore's books, which are there in the bookstore in Stanford. And she says, oh, it's not too bad. And then the first week feedback from the Googlers was still pretty bad, but in the next 2-3 weeks, people begin to realize the promise of this idea. And then a review is held with senior management, and multiple things happen. First of all, they realize this idea really holds promise, and they raise the priority to one of the topmost projects to be undertaken in the next few days, next few weeks. Then they assign a few top programmers to this project. And third is they ask a question, why actually apply this to Gmail? Why not to the core product, which was Google search itself? And that, that's what happens, and that is currently what is the primary revenue earner for Google. So this story highlights some of the key characteristics of an innovation review. One is that in a review, decisions are made based on experiments and their results, and less on just gut feel. The second is that resource allocation happens to the top priority ideas, and that's what happened in this case as well. And last but not least is that the scope of the idea also gets evaluated. The idea was originally meant to be questioned or applied to Gmail project, but then somebody asked a question, why Gmail, why not the core product, and the scope of this idea also got enhanced. So this highlights some of the key characteristics of an innovation review.